What's up, everyone? I'm here. We got a great guest today. We got Mr. Ben Fournier, two-time Connecticut state placer, one of the top 106 pounders in the whole region. Ben, how you doing, bro?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. Excited to have you.
Mm-hmm.
I like how we both have messy hair. I'm just
Uh,
I just woke up from a nap, so we're both matching that.
Pretty much, yeah.
So first things first, man. Ask this question already to everyone. When did you start wrestling? How old were you?
I started probably when I was 3 years old, and I've been wrestling ever since, all the way up since youth.
Wow, so you've really basically been on the mat your whole life.
Pretty much, yeah. It's been a while.
And so why did you get into wrestling? I imagine it was your parents then that, signed you up.
Parents thought it'd be a good sport for me to join in when I was younger, and obviously it is, and I've stuck with it ever since.
Cool. And what club was that you first signed up for that took in a 3-year-old?
First, I was in the home club, just Ram Youth Coyotes, with with actually the coaches. My head coach now, Jay, was running the youth club back when I was in youth, and then I actually switched between a couple of clubs. I was in Youth Coyotes, and I was over in Colchester Wildcats, which is the next town over. So I was in a couple different clubs.
And excuse me, sorry. So,
Oh,
wrestling that young, did you enjoy the sport, or was it kind of like a hassle, like a chore? If I had to go to wrestling practice.
I think I definitely enjoyed it. Although some days, since when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I gotta do this. You don't want to go to practice. You'd rather hang out with a friend. But it's I'd say I definitely enjoyed it. But there's obviously like the here and there those practices where you're not feeling it today, and your parents are like, oh, you got to go. It's wrestling practice. And you're like, oh, but I definitely enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And when did you really start, or how old were you for your first competition?
First competition, probably 3 or 4.
Wow.
It's probably like kids states or like some beginner tournament when I first got into it.
Nice. And so how old were you when you started traveling out of state to like elite competition, where you figured you knew what you were doing, you wanted to go to some good tournaments?
Probably 6, 7, 8. That's probably when I started really getting into it and going to like some other different clubs, or like finding the elite club, if you want to call it, and going out of state. And I'd say probably 6 or 7. That's when I started really going for my main sport of wrestling.
Nice. And what was your favorite event or tournament that you'd always go to like every year or something during youth?
It'd probably either be just the big state tournament, or what Marsh, which is one of my trophy right there.
Yeah, dude. How big is that trophy? I think you told me before, but
Like a foot and a half.
there was another big one, right? There was another that event.
So this was the youth trophy right there. That's it when I won it. But then the other one was like probably 5 feet tall. It was a big one.
Nice. And what was that, like the middle school trophy or something?
It was either middle school or high school. It was like the age group above me. So
nice.
When I won, I was like, do I get the biggest one, or like? Because I thought these were the second places one. I was like, oh my god, the trophy's bigger than I was. But I ended up getting the youth one, but still the biggest.
That'd be pretty impressive if that was just the second place winner,
Yeah, right.
So, looking back at your youth career, what is one moment or match that stands out in your mind as, one of your favorites?
Probably not my favorite, but it was like kind of like I forget when it was, but it was the state finals, because I've never won when I was in youth. I always took second or third. I never took first, and this was in the finals, and I had like 30 seconds left, and I was in like a front headlock or something. And all I had to do was spin around and get 2, and the whole gym's yelling, "Spin around and get you 2," but I'm just sitting there in front, just doing whatever a youth wrestler was did and never got the 2, and so I ended up taking second. So that's like
Yeah.
the moment I remember as.
Yeah. So, did even though you were young, did it eat at you a little bit when you finally realized? Or
Yeah,
did you not really care?
I'd say a little bit, not really, but like I was obviously like, imagine if I actually did like know what to do with it. But also I was a kid, so I was like, yeah, I don't really care. Second place was good.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, I still get a medal trophy. That's cool.
Yeah, I still get a big trophy.
And so talk to me about just your relationship with wrestling heading into middle school.
Into middle school, that's when I started getting like burnt out, because that's when it started getting tough, because I was already doing it for so long. So I was kind of like 50-50. I wasn't really like giving it my all, but I was still like wrestling. And I think it was ninth grade that was the worst. Like that was when I was like really I didn't want to do it at all, but like I still like would end up doing it. But I think I had some success, but it was really more of just like challenging for like me, because I really didn't want to do it at that point, since I've already been doing it for so long.
Gotcha. Yeah, you probably, grueling practice, probably not really going 100% there.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So when was it that you kind of fell back in love with the sport?
Sophomore year, because I was playing football at the time, and then because obviously freshman year I missed out because of COVID and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But sophomore year was when I was playing football. I wasn't the best, because I was too small anyways. But I still loved to play. Yeah, I was the best tackler because wrestling helped me with that.
What position were you?
I was in youth. I was nose guard, so I would be right on with the center. But I would normally play. I actually got put as linebacker and cornerback. Although
that's what I was thinking, cornerback or something, because that's something you can get away with, kind of being small if you're fast and you could tackle.
Yeah, I would be able to tackle him, but the height advantage just wasn't there, since I'm not.
Kids would just reach over.
But when I was on the football field, our coach came out for his like annual wrestling speech, and I ended up just wrestling with my buddy on the football field, and I was like, oh, I love this. This is pretty nice. So I ended up joining back in, and that's when I started getting back into it. And then junior year is when I did my first full year round of wrestling, and then now it's just something I do every year.
So, heading into high school, you had no plans of wrestling, basically, right?
No, I was basically out of it since freshman year it already took it out. So it was basically out of my mind. I wasn't going to wrestle since I didn't do it that year. And then it was really my coach, Ryan Fitch, who really came out on the team, was like, oh, we need you. You'd be good this year. And then really got me back into it. And then I've stuck with it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you definitely helped Ram out a little bit,
Oh, yeah.
So talk to me about that first practice, that first time kind of being back in a room in, probably a year or two for you.
Felt weird, but like a good feeling of weird. Like it was like something I was like familiar with, but like it was like, oh, we're doing this again, but it was in a good way. So it was like nervous, excited. It was all the emotions.
Mm-hmm. And kids, we've talked about this before, in the past interviews, but so that year off, you think it benefited you, right?
Yeah, I definitely, because I think if my coach came out, I probably wouldn't have wrestled, because I was just with middle school, I was just too burnt out. So it definitely, like, everyone say that like they hated it, but during COVID, I was like, it gave me a chance just to relax and like not think about wrestling, and kind of gave me the year off that I needed. And then I actually ended up doing a lot of like hiking, biking, and all that other stuff during COVID. So it was actually surprisingly, it was a good year.
Yeah, stayed active,
Yeah.
Did a lot of fun stuff. That's cool.
Exactly.
So, and when you were back in the room, back in practice, did things come back easy to you, or did it take a little bit?
It came back relatively quick. So when I first sophomore year, I think I ended up taking 4th at the class states, and then 6th at opens. So I still ended up placing in like the state tournaments, and so it kind of came back relatively quick. I would like to say, because like I still had all like I knew what to do, but I just had to like get the endurance back up and like resharpen like all the tools and like relearn all of the basics. But other than that, it came back pretty quick.
Cool. So, yeah, like you said, you placed fourth at M, sixth at Opens. Did it feel good kind of knowing like your first year back and, a couple of years that you were just already right there, top six in the state?
Yeah, so that's when I started going year round, and after that, I think I started going down to macro, and that was a bit of a drive, but it would definitely help me for that year.
What town is that in macro?
I don't know, but it's near like the shoreline for Connecticut. So it was like a 45 to an hour.
Near like London and Guildford.
Yeah. I would have. I don't know. I would just get driven there every night.
Yeah, I hear it, man. I hear it.
And then I would wrestle there for I think 2 or 3 nights a week with TJ and Coach Phil. Those are our coaches there, and Isaiah McDaniel's dad hit him. So it was a great club. It really helped me for that year that I needed it. And then after that, I think I went transitioned over to KT Kids, and then with Wes Johnson, which I've now with still. So
nice. So you've seen a bunch of different clubs.
Yeah, I've been in my share of clubs. I've been all over.
Nice. Hey, well, it's good to get experience and take bits and pieces.
Yeah. Actually, because I end up like knowing all the coaches and like the clubs, and I'll end up just talking with them during at tournaments, or I'll see them. They'll come up to me, ask how it's going. So I kind of like it. To just keep in touch with the coaches.
Yeah, that definitely. Just learn everyone in the sport. The community.
Yeah, exactly.
So, heading into your junior year or after your sophomore year. Your first full season back. What was that off season like?
I think it was more of just trying to learn like how to get like in the the grade, like because I was good, but I wanted to be like really like get back pushing into like the grade. So I was really trying to figure out like where to go, like to go there and to get to where I wanted to go, and that's where I found out macro, and that really got me going for where I felt like I needed to go in the right direction for that year. And then that really ended up helping me, pushing me into a junior year when that came around, and that helped me in winning class states and then placing second in the Opens.
Yeah, you got the class M bracket behind you, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
How did it feel winning that
bracket win?
Oh yeah, dude. I'd do the same thing. I would get that frame too. That's dope.
But it's weird because like all the tournaments that I end up winning, they never give out like the bracket and the sheet, but all the ones I lose, they end up giving them out. It's weird. It's like, and this is the first bracket slip that I got, so I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. I have to frame it.
Yeah, that is mad cool. I was never good enough to get any of those, but
Yeah.
But how did it feel? Getting handed that on the podium.
Felt great because I was basically giving up all the time, like hanging out with friends and going out, like doing all the stuff like ever that normal high school kids would go on every weekend, instead of going out, driving out to Pennsylvania or some random place going to a tournament. So it felt like a relief that I got what I was trying to work for.
Yeah, it definitely showed all that hard work pays off,
Definitely.
And then, heading into the finals of Opens, you made it there. You just ran into this kid from Xavier named Raekwon Shabazz, who's decent.
Yeah.
What was what was it like, before that finals match, Were you nervous at all? Not because of the opponent, but because of the stage?
Definitely, because that was obviously like the biggest tournament I've made into finals, and like Class M's, it was like the finals, like, but it was also like kind of like that we had like the second and third place matches also wrestling at the same time. It wasn't just like the first place focused on that. So that was like the first tournament of like where it's the whole center of the tournament's now just focused on that one mat.
Not even the whole arena, the whole state, basically,
Yeah, basically the whole state of anyone that wrestles is focused right on that one match. So it's definitely had those nerves going on with it, and then plus since I was definitely not the favorite to win because, well, Shabazz and we're going to win New England's in nationals.
Yeah.
So, but my goal was to make it to the finals, so I did reach my goal in that point. So.
Mm-hmm. And then, how are you feeling? Coming back the next week, heading into New England's.
I was feeling good. Honestly, I really didn't have any. I was really just looking at just how it was since I've never been to like a New England. It was my first tournament of like that big caliber. So I was basically just going in there, not real expectations. If I placed, that would have been awesome. But I was really just looking forward, looking to see how the competition lines up for New England. And I think I got knocked out by like the 3rd and 4th seed. So.
Yeah, I mean, you went 2-2. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I went 2-2. I got
playing as a junior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the person I lost, I think, placed 3rd and either 4th or 5th. So at least I lost placed.
Yeah, exactly. You look at it that way, you're right there.
Yeah.
So, what has this past off season been like for you? What's been your favorite part of this past off season?
This past off season, see, I've been a lot down with KT Kids in West, so I think the favorite aspect is like going into a new club with him and like meet new people, and which he really helped because I would do privates with him, and that would really help me get better this year. So I would say going with them and doing tournaments with them has probably been pretty nice and pretty fun.
Nice, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, heading into this year, what were your goals, for you and the team? Since Ram's pretty good this year, along with last year.
Yeah. So a couple of our team goals is to obviously win Class M's. So that's the team goal that I'm really trying to help people in the room and get into their heads that it's ours to lose this year, and
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, because it's my senior year, so I'm like Last year was pretty close, actually very close. So I want
you, go ahead and talk about that real quick too.
Yeah, so last year it came down to the finals matches, and so I pinned Mike Caesar, which is my training partner when I go down to KT now. So we're good friends now, but so I pinned him in the finals, so that gave us a boost, and then it was Mike Marquise, our 195 pounder, and I still keep in touch with him. He's a great guy, and the only reason why he came back was to help win us a team championship, which is exactly what he did. But then we ended up getting a point deduction because once he had to do is pin his kid in the finals, and he did that. So any natural reaction would be cheering, going crazy,
celebrate a little bit.
Yeah, so we were celebrating, and one of our teammates had his singlet straps down and stepped on the mat to hug him and congratulate him, and we ended up getting a 1-point deduction from that and losing by 0.5 point.
Insane.
Yeah, and the crazy part about that is we ended up bringing that kid in like 2 weeks before before States was here, and because he wanted to join, but his grades weren't the best, but he finally got him up, able to wrestle, and we recruited him like 2 weeks before. And we didn't have him scoring like that much points. He ended up almost placing and like getting us a crazy amount of points that put us in the position to having a chance to win. So
yeah,
but it was unfortunate how it unfolded.
Yeah, it really does suck, dude. Didn't it? It made like some national stories, right?
Yes, it did. We had what do you want to call it? Like stuff on the news all over the place. It got up to like the national level of like what the definition of like the straps down rule is, and if it like counted and fell under it. So it was crazy how much attention. If not like getting the winning this Class M's, we definitely got the attention to Ram, and faces and heads turned towards it. So then this year's goal coming up is to win Class M's, have no point deduction, none of that, just straight out win it, and then for the team, and then some personal goals is obviously win Class M's and hopefully win state opens and make it to finals, if not win it to win New England's this year, which I think those would be 2 great accomplishments if I can do that, which I really want to do.
Awesome. And what was it? Okay. So you were wrestling at 113 a bit. during the beginning of the year, and you've since made the drop to 106. Is that hard on your body for you to cut weight at all? To get that light or?
Definitely, because that's not normally. I think at 108, my alpha, that's like my minimum I can go. My body fat is the 4%, so it's pretty tough to keep down there. So it's every week I'll alternate. I try to maintain anywhere from like 110 to 112, and then I'll cut like 4 or 5 pounds the week of. But I normally try to go on weekends. I'll try to do 108, and then during Wednesday meets or whatnot, I'll do 113.
Smart.
Yep.
It reminds me of my brother back in the day. He was a senior at 120, but he'd cut probably from like 135 or something, like.
Yeah, I started around 120-ish, 122. Wow. So yeah, it's
cut all the way to 110 for the showcase,
Yeah, that was tough. I didn't cut right because like I didn't maintain body weight, and I was like not eating. So I was like, I went into the tournament like kind of like drowsy or whatnot. I was like just trying to eat, trying to get some food in me. But
that's funny.
Yeah, so I'm trying to be better at maintaining and cutting weight, eat better, especially for this year because I need to be able to keep my energy up for matches.
And so how do you think this season has been going so far for you and your team?
For the team, I've been thinking it's been going pretty well. For duels, we've only lost once, and that was to Simsbury.
Not the one that I came to.
Yep, the one that you went to. But we had around 3 kids out, so unfortunate. Yeah, that's true. But which ended up still being pretty close. I think it was 4 points.
Dude, we lost. It was like a 2 point.
Yeah. So that's the only loss for a duels tournament we've had. And then for me personally, I think this year it's definitely hard because I don't face any real good competition until I get to like the states, besides like 1 or 2 kids here and there, so it's kind of tough for me. I've got to like figure out how I can like get my endurance or my moves ready for states and New England's and all that, because it's like I'm going from here and then it just ramps up real quick from states and New England's for competition wise. So I got to figure out, I got to be in the room doing more or going outside doing extra runs and stuff to keep up. So
yeah, dude, no, like at the wait, no, it was the Sabah that you recently went to, right? I think I said Chavez earlier, but yeah, it was the Danbury tournament, right?
Yep, it was a Danbury tournament.
Yeah, so like for that, you probably had 2 quick pins, in the quarters.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden
that was tough because it was my first time making down to 108, so I was like, okay, so here we are down to 100. Actually, it was 109 because we had a pound of lunch, which was nice. And then yeah, so we had I forget his first name, but
the Southington kid.
Yeah, kid from Southington. He's great. He's a good wrestler. But yeah, I had 2 quick pins, and then I had him in the finals. So
all of a sudden, you had to be like, I gotta actually prepare now.
Yeah, which it didn't go as planned because first period, I went in and took a shot. We got into a good scramble. He ended up getting the 2. I ended up escaping. So the first 2 points was nothing much, and then I ended up going for a lat drop, which was I don't ever hit lat drops, but for some reason we were in an under-over situation, and I don't know why, but I went for it, and he just posted out, and then I ended up getting stuck. That was my first time getting pinned in a while.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, yo, Ben had to have gotten caught in something, because there's no way he just got man.
Yeah, that was my first pin in probably over a year or 2. That was rough.
Yeah, he's strong. It was just like you got caught in a shitty lat drop,
Yeah, I don't ever hit lat drops, but I don't know why we were in an under-over situation, and then I was like, well, might as well try it, and then I went for it.
Now you're never gonna try it again.
It's not gonna happen again. But I'm definitely out looking forward to the next time I see him and see how I do, because I'm definitely not gonna try any dumb moves like lat drop, and that's not gonna happen next time. So
yeah, dude, in Connecticut, it's basically kind of you two at 106,
Yeah, exactly. So
Isaiah, McDaniel's there, who we mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm. So it's basically only like 2 or 3, 4 kids that are basically the competition, and it's like I'll see him like Cashner I saw last weekend or the weekend before, and then I won't see him until CCCs and then states, and
Oh
I
yeah,
don't.
Covington is CCC, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I don't see anyone else until
Is
state.
Middletown?
No, because Middletown got bumped up. I think they're in the ECCs.
Oh, okay. So you're
No,
not
no, I won't see him. But and he ended up getting Isaiah McDaniels ended up getting bumped out of our Class M's for some reason to L's, so I won't even see him till state opens.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like I gotta keep working with what I have, and like and the people that I face, it's like I gotta work my moves and do all this. It's because I don't really got much competition until states.
Yeah, you know, you're gonna have a lot of a lot of text because you know you just got to drill takedowns first period.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it goes. Either take down, let him up, take down, let him up, take down, maybe get a couple back points, and then I'll go for a pin. So
you know, work 2 takedowns, then a tilt or something. And favorite pinning combination?
Favorite pinning combination, if not legs, then armbar.
Armbar, solid.
Yeah, we drilled that a lot. That's our number one.
What's your go-to takedown besides a lat drop?
Probably a low single. Something if I can not bat on the head and level change and then go in for a quick shot on the leg.
I hear a couple little head fakes, all that, yeah.
And then get onto the leg. So that's probably my number one right now. It switches honestly, cause I'll go from like having a sweep single to a low, or like Smith single, or having like a double leg into a duck. So it's like some weeks it just changes. My number ones end up changing throughout the year, so it's weird.
Hey, you know, it's whatever. It's whatever you're most confident in, probably, and you hit whatever you think you hit most smooth last. You know, that's probably
that's what I fall back onto. Whichever's working well that week of and practice and drill, and that's what I end up going for.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Last thing I really want to talk about is, you know, plans for the next level. You know, college. You want to wrestle there the next stage?
Yeah, so definitely. I do want to wrestle in college. I do have some talking with coaches and whatnot, but I haven't not committed yet because I don't know exactly where I want to go, because I'm gonna be going on for criminal justice, because I want to be like a local cop or a state trooper. So obviously that part will fall into play, and then wrestling second. So, but I am definitely interested and want to wrestle in college, so I got to figure out where now.
Nice. Think you'd just be 125?
Probably. I'm looking forward to the bump up to 125 because I got to put on muscle and eat. So
yeah, dude. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. You know, 20 pounds, dude. Hey, maybe even 133. You know?
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows how big I'll get? So
yeah.
But definitely looking towards the bump up and weight changing. So that'll be nice.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, Ben?
Nothing. I definitely do want to shout out my parents because they drive me everywhere. My dad brings me all over the state, if not New England, drive me to Pennsylvania, Maine, Massachusetts, all these different places for wrestling tournaments, and hotels, spend hundreds of dollars for food just for me to eat, specialized foods, no junk food, get me fruits and all the good food that we eat.
You told me about that. Yeah, you know how your mom will like just have to buy specific stuff.
Oh, the night before she goes crazy at the grocery store getting all the different foods that I need. She'll get yogurts, or like the low-fat yogurts, strawberries, blueberries, anything that I want, oranges and all that good stuff.
Just wait till you wrestling 125, then you can splurge a little bit.
Exactly, right? They are just my number one fans and supporters, and they love the sport more than me, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Behind every hardworking wrestler is some parents that work twice as hard.
Exactly. That is so true. All
right, Ben. It was great talking to you, man.
Yep. You too, definitely.